Hey, girl.
Hi. How's it going?
It's,
It's going.
we're here today,
And we're happy to be here.
right? We made it to today, which is, what is today, Wednesday?
You know, Fred used to say, he's like, I would be like, how's your day? He's like, well, I woke up above ground. So
Okay, see,
that's how we feel right now.
That's a good one. Okay, so welcome back to another episode of All the Rumors Are True. Today I have a very young friend of mine. I like to say young, even though we've been friends for a long time.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Miranda, in one of my lives, because I've had, 9, like
Several.
a fucking cat. She and I went to cosmetology school together.
Yes.
So I went through a whole phase. I always loved makeup and hair. It was just always something I loved. And I'm not going to name names, but family always kind of said it wasn't good enough. You'll never make a living off that. If you want to live the life that I have given you, you have to do this XYZ. And
It was very much like, you can't, this is a hobby.
yeah, it was very much like you can't do well. Well, first off, my hairdresser makes $250,000 a year. So let's start there.
Okay, work.
Because
her.
that's just ignorant of people to think that hair is that underrated.
Well, it's a different day and age too. It's like hair is a luxury now. You know
It
what I
is.
mean?
It is now. It is for sure. But Miranda and I met in cosmetology school. I'm 38 and you're 26.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we met, I was like 29 and
I was like 18.
yeah, you were a baby. So
You like raised me.
kind
Kind of. It's crazy.
You did always like call me mom.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was funny because everyone in hair school like loved you because you're like dazzling. You walk in a room and everyone's like, "Oh my God, who is that?"
Well,
And everyone wanted yes. And everyone wanted to be your friend, and you were just like, "I choose you," and it was like done. And I was like, "Me? Is she talking to me?" And you were like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." Get in the car, get in the Escalade, let's go. I was like, "Okay, I'll get in the fucking Escalade, sure."
well, and I was a single mom at the time. I'm still a single mom, but at the time my daughter was very little at the time. So I was very mom mode. I'm still very mom mode. I think I still mom you. I mean,
Hard.
I like made you dinner last night and made you like dessert.
Someone this week was like, "Wait, Millicent is your mom, right?" Verbatim. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my mom." Yeah, that's my mom.
You're like, I look like my dad.
I'll take it. Yeah.
It's my mom. I mean, I don't take offense to that at all. I love taking care of people.
Yeah.
But I also will take care of you until you're not taking care of me, and then you're done.
It has to be like a mutual
It does.
thing.
And it doesn't even have to be the same. We all have different love languages, but if you screw me over in any sort of weird way, like you're gone.
No, you and I are similar in that way. Like the second I feel like it's not mutually beneficial, like I will cut you the fuck off.
So that's what you and I are actually talking about today.
Yeah.
We are talking about the concept of no contact. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that term because I guess it's more of like a new term. I've been in therapy, I think, since I was in my birth mother's womb.
Yeah.
So
Real.
Same. Shout out to her. She already knew I'm birthing this. Like she's going to need help because I'm nuts. So
I'm nuts.
I do want to talk about no contact because going no contact sounds very simple and very easy. And it's actually very fucking hard.
And a lot of people think that when they say no contact, they're like, so like your ex-boyfriend, you just don't talk to him. And it's like, no, like.
No, we're talking about parents. We're talking about
family.
siblings, cousins.
Yeah.
More so, you and I are talking about family.
Yeah.
But
it's such a strange concept to people. People are like, but that's your parent.
But that's
and I'm
your
like,
mom. How could you do that? Oh, but that's your dad. How could you do that? Because they're hindering me.
but it's also like, but that's my mom and dad. And how could they do that to me?
Right. So it actually goes back
to
that. So you and I have both gone through no contact phases with our parents.
Yeah.
Right now, I am in no contact with a very large percentage of my quote unquote family.
Yeah.
And that will not be changing, because
Yeah.
sometimes you can go no contact just because you're like, I need to get my shit together, and I
Like,
don't.
you need to be on timeout.
Yeah, and I don't need outsiders telling me things like, no, I need to figure it out. Well, no, I've gone no contact. It's been like 8 months, almost 9 months. It's been a minute. Mine was very forced.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into a lot of details, but it was so hard at first.
Yeah.
There's still days that suck, right? You pick up your phone and you're like, oh, I want to share this victory, or oh, I want to share this sadness, or whatever. And then you pick up the phone and you realize, oh my God, no, I don't talk to you because you actually hate me. Like,
Yeah. Real.
you hate me, and what you did to me was so vile that it's like, oh my God, why did I even think to text you? Like, it's weird.
It's like when someone dies and you pick up the phone, I'm going to call them, and you're like,
Oh, they're
no
dead.
one's going to answer. Yeah.
But it's
like, oh, I chose for you to be dead and gone in my life.
It's kind of
double-edged
hard
sword.
and weird going through no contact with people that are alive.
Yes. It's
Because
difficult
it's
to mourn the
like-
living.
Yeah, it's like okay. So for instance, years ago, my father and I had a tiff, and it was what it was,
Yeah.
and we didn't talk for a while.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because he cut me off, I cut him off, we're never going to speak again. It wasn't a thing like that. It was just like there was a lot going on at the time. I was pregnant with my daughter, and they saw things with the person I was having a child with that were worrisome. And then, of course, I'm on the defense. And then now, look at where we're sitting now. But
And I'm sure you see a very different story in hindsight.
now I do. Now that I'm a parent, now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, I understand why you voiced your concerns and why we didn't
You're like,
speak.
oh,
and,
you had a point.
you
interesting.
actually were smarter than me.
When you actually did know better and want what's best for me. That's crazy.
Yeah, you did. Oh my God. And that was that. And my dad and I have a better relationship now than we've ever had. And I mean, and I mean, it almost brings me to tears because, being a parent, there's no fucking rule book. There, two people met, had sex, and had you.
Yeah.
And then you're astonished at the fact that you're in therapy. Well, they didn't know what they were doing either.
Yeah.
Right. And that cycle continues. And I don't care how good a family looks from the outside. You have this beautiful home and you have these great kids and they never got in trouble. I'm going to tell you what, no one knows what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like no family is perfect. Just because you didn't divorce doesn't mean that you're in love.
Yeah. Sometimes that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Like not
I have
at
a
all.
question. Do you feel like you, in your years of no contact with your father, is a big reason why your relationship is as good as it is now? Or do you feel like that doesn't have any part to play in it?
No, not necessarily. I'll say that. I had growing to do. I had learning to do. There were also things, I was very manipulated by the other side of the coin. And I believed what the other side of the coin manipulated me to believe my whole life. And now that I have a child of my own, I bought my own house, I bought my own car. Everything I have is mine. And, no one's names are on it. I bought it myself. And it was like, once I broke free from that control of, well, you can't have this or this or this because I'm paying for it. Once I finally got in a place where I was like, okay, I'll do it on my own. That the cookie crumbled. The house of cards fell. And I apologized to my dad way too often because he's always like, Mill, that's enough. It's enough. Like, stop apologizing. Like, I'm so glad we are where we are.
Oh, you still apologize to him for going no contact?
Yeah. Okay. And just how I treated him because of what outsiders were telling me about him and not hearing it from him himself. And we just have a great relationship. And I adore my stepmom. She's been a very, very good driving force for us and a very good influence on my dad. And our lives are changed. Our lives are better. Like, we have a very good relationship, all three of us.
That's good.
You know, we're even cool enough that I'll call her and like, hey, XYZ, because I used to be scared when my dad and I first started talking again. I'd get scared.
Like to reach out to her?
No, I would text her because I would be like, I'm scared to tell dad this and this. And she'd be like, Mill, he adores you. It's fine. It's fine.
How old were y'all when you reconnected? Or how old were you?
We went no contact when I was pregnant with my daughter. So
you were like 33.
Girl, no. I had her at 27.
Oh, so you were like 30 when y'all reconnected? Around that time.
Something around there.
Because I remember that. I remember that day.
Yeah.
We were like going to Houston or Dallas or something, and you were like shaking and nervous.
Yeah. Well, because
it went fine. It went great. It went better than you could have imagined.
Totally better. But where I am now in my life, the people that are no contact, like, there's no desire to go back to that contact.
Yes.
When you have this controlling vortex that you're in, it's this weird Harry Potter bullshit, right? Which I just watched for the first time. So that's why I'm using it, right? Because it's like this alternate world that you're in with these people, and they're telling you, well, you have to be there for Thanksgiving morning. Well, why?
Says who?
Why do I have to? Wait, why? What?
Yeah, says who? For what reason?
I'm sorry, why do I have to be there again?
And their reason is always like, because that's what we do.
Yeah, because
we're a family.
Because we're family, and that's what you do. Well, first of all, when was the last time you like did something for me or like came to like do something that I wasn't?
Like, when's the last time you had a conversation with me where you weren't giving me orders to be like, this is how I need you to fall in line for me.
This is what you do. This is what you say. This is how you dress. If you don't get up for church on Sunday, I'm not going to talk to you for 2 days. I'm sorry.
Like, that's not very Christian, matter of fact. That's crazy.
Girl, that's a whole nother pod that you're going to come back on that. But I went no contact for a multitude of reasons. But it has bettered my life drastically.
Yeah, I can
drastically. And
even this holiday season, you were like, this feels different. It feels lighter.
This holiday season was different.
You're like, I had a good Christmas. This is crazy.
I mean, to an extent, we all know underlying circumstances that are very difficult that I'm not going to speak on. But when it came to the others that are out, it was like, I had a pleasant time and I was with my family and they enjoyed my company and they were appreciative of the meals that I bought and cooked and the dishes that I washed in my home. And, you know, why was I always the one hosting and being told what to do and paying for it? I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense.
No,
it's like somehow this isn't adding up.
But it's not until you step away from that toxicity that you finally realize, holy shit, these people were not being nice to me.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20.
Just downright nice.
Yeah. So, sometimes it's really difficult to like have to look back and be like, oh, I'm your child. You created me. And I'm looking at all of my friends and their families are not like this. You know, like I remember so very young realizing like, you know, little things like in elementary school or high school or going to my friends' houses and realizing over time, like, oh, this isn't normal. You know, like parents aren't like this, you know, and I've had to go no contact with my family several times for several different reasons, you know, and I'm talking to my dad again, but there were years where I didn't, you know, for, you know, addiction or so many other reasons. And people definitely can come back from that. But I think sometimes people are who they are, you know, and sometimes it's really not black and white, but then sometimes it really is black and white, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like there is a lot of gray. Let's be cliche as fuck.
Yeah.
I do feel like there is a lot of gray when it comes to relationships, and relationships can be sexual, non-sexual, family, like relationship just as a whole. I mean, I've gone no contact with friends before.
Yeah.
You know, and then sometimes we reunite, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
But it's like, you have to know you, and you have to know, like, if you're somebody that can handle just the crazy bullshit, then just continue to let them stay in your life and continue to be stressed around
I think people don't realize that people can live with it. Like, I feel like one of the biggest things people are like, I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
You absolutely can. And not only can you, but you also probably should.
And you'll probably thrive.
Yes, because people don't understand that when you have so many people telling you so much stuff in your head that you can't even think. Oh, you have to be able to remove yourself from the situation to even know what you as a person think. Because it's like, how do you don't know if that's just what your dad says. That's what your mom has said for 55 years. It's like, that's just not.
First off, you forget how to think, or you never knew how to think.
You've never had to, because they've always done it for you.
Because they've always told you what to do.
Yeah.
You're going to do this. You're going to go to school here. You're going to do this for a living. You're going to live here. You're going to marry this type of person.
Which is weird, because it's like, is this my life? And did you already live yours?
Well, no, in my case, and I feel like in quite a few others, they try to vicariously live through you because they fucked up so much. They're like, oh, damn, I married that wrong one a couple times, or I married this one and he's a jackass, or I married her and she sucks. So it's like, let me take all of my insecurities and all of my fuck ups and just throw them on this human that I made and say, this is what you're doing because your life will be perfect. Well, first off, even if I did fall in line and fall in suit with everything you told me I needed to do, my life would still be fucked up. My husband would probably be gay and I'd be sitting here with like kids and, no job. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. If I really would have married the one I was told to marry,
where would your life be?
He'd have a boyfriend, and I'd have a Mahjong and Chardonnay wine problem. So.
You're like, I'd have a drinking problem, and he'd have a boyfriend. Yeah.
I'd be playing Mahjong, drinking Chardonnay at 7 a.m.
Well, it is healthier in the morning.
But no, I'm a president of a nationwide company, so back at you, bitch.
Real. I mean, it really is just a strange. Honestly, okay, I think that sometimes when people have gone through so much in their lives that it actually is much easier for them to, especially when it happens so young and you become so hardened over time. It's like, it's very, like, I'm only 26. I've cut off my father like 50 times.
No, since I've met you, ridiculous. You're like, I'm not talking to my dad. And I'm like, okay.
Because I'll put him on timeout. He acts up and I'm like, timeout.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And I feel like more people need to really discuss.
But it's not like it's anything. It's not like it's like, oh my God, he didn't buy me this and I'm mad. It's like,
no,
he got belligerently drunk and like beat me up in the front yard until the neighbors called the cops. It's like, you are on timeout for 1 year minimum.
But also
go to jail.
Let's give a shout out. He's been sober.
He has been sober. He got sober.
It's been like a year and a half.
By force. Yeah. On January 2nd of 2024, he went to the hospital and he was there for 31 days. And
you were with him every day?
Every single day. It was a massive reality check. And I actually went no contact with his mother and his sister after this because of the way that they handled it with such disregard. Because it was just, I was like, Dad, I'm going no contact for you, Pookie. Like, we're not doing this. It was just one of those things where sometimes and I don't know if I think sometimes people can say, well, just because they do something different than you, it's like, no, sometimes people are just wrong. Sometimes the way you handle things is just inappropriate. Yeah. You're his mother and your child's, on a ventilator and you're just acting goofy in the lobby. And for what? Sometimes people are just, you're not acting appropriately.
But I'm very proud of your dad and I'm very proud of you for like where y'all are. And let's not get it twisted. Y'all are still going to argue. You're still not going to see things eye to eye, but I am proud of him for staying sober. And there's multiple reasons why people go no contact, right? Like, I wasn't beaten and things like that. Yeah. But what's going on with me didn't happen to you.
No, but what's happening to you is much more like mentally torturing. Yes. And that's like, I'm fine. I got right back up and I probably hit him back. I probably did. Like,
oh God, the way that I wish I could throw hands on like 90 people right now, but it's frowned upon.
I mean,
they went.
That's boring.
What's going on with me is something that will be talked about later.
This should be like a social experiment. Like that's like what's happening with you is just different. You know what I mean? That's one of like my situation is there's a lot of gray area. There's none there.
Oh no, mine is very black and white. Y'all fucked up. Y'all are trying to kill me. Y'all are trying to bury me. You're trying to destroy my character. Song.
It's like if you wanted me dead, you should have just said. Or just say that.
Or you should have just like shot me.
It would have hurt less.
Putting me out of my misery would have been better than what I'm going through now.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do have to say this for listeners or anybody that watches this, you know, it can't always rain.
Yeah.
The rain will stop.
Yeah.
There are going to be days that you're drowning in that rain. There are going to be days that you're flooded in that rain. There are going to be days you're waiting. And when I say waiting, not like you're waiting in the water, right? You're like, how am I going to get out of this swamp? And for anyone who needs any sort of hope, just know it can't rain forever.
No, it can't.
And things will turn around and things will get better. It might be 3 days. It might be 3 months. It might be 3 years. It might be 30 years. Things will change, and you have to be steadfast in your decision, and you have to really have enough common sense around you.
Yeah.
Because you got to have people around you that have common sense to be like, this is a form of abuse that's been happening to you.
Yeah.
And then what's happened to you now is like so far past it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, you have to have people around you that will lift you up and will get you out of that rain. Yeah. And out of the waiting and out of the flood and out of the hail. They're going to be there for you.
Yeah, you need to have a solid community. I mean, I keep telling everyone, like, community is as good as currency. Truly.
It's facts.
Even more so, you know, I feel like sometimes having hope is more important than eating.
It's facts.
Times, you know what I mean?
I've been reading a ton of, you know, books since all of my debacle started 8-9 months ago.
Yeah.
And I read in one of my books last week that loneliness will kill you faster than smoking 18 cigarettes a day for, I want to say it was like 20 or 30 years. But loneliness will.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Loneliness. And, you know, you gotta be aware of that. And you gotta have the people around you that you're not scared to say, hey, I know it's 10 o'clock at night. Can you come like spend the night with me? Because
it's feeling real dark in my noggin right now.
I'm not going to sleep tonight, and I got a long day of work tomorrow. Or hey, do you mind if I come over and stay the night? I'm feeling trapped in these walls by myself.
Yes, I mean it's true. Having a good community and support system is like solid ground under your feet. You know,
we all have to have it. And guess what? I have found that the people that I don't share blood with have my back the most.
Yeah, sometimes you have to build your family, you know? And I think that that's one thing that's so, and you know, people are like, well, blood is thicker than water. It's like,
the fuck? We ain't talking about science here.
Yeah.
Stop using
and
that
I'm like,
goddamn
I'm pretty sure that like
metrics
quote isn't actually, I think it's taken out of context, to be honest. But
well, it's
like,
really,
it's just not
It's really
real.
not. Some scientist just went home and told his wife that one night.
Just told his wife
he's like, I was measuring blood and water. And guess what weighed more? Okay, phlebotomist, sit down. Nobody is asking a phlebotomist on advice on family.
Spooky. Yeah,
Sit down. You went to training for 9 months to be a phlebotomist. I don't want to hear it. Blood is not thicker than water.
9 months.
Blood is thicker than water. But when it comes to talking about like,
when the person you share blood with is just evil, it's like, well, it doesn't matter. I'll carry it.
It's like,
do it.
It's like, bitch, like both of our bloods are just as heavy. So which one's throwing hands first? Because get out.
And I think there's a fine line between being like having a community that you support supports you, but also because I feel like some people are like, well, then you're not comfortable in yourself, and it's like you do have to be so rooted in yourself that no one's absence or presence can like disturb your peace. But then there's also a fine line between being like, I just simply am not feeling peace at all anymore, and I need a friend.
But have you ever heard anyone not say, do not put your happiness in another human?
Yeah.
People have been saying that forever and ever. Amen.
And if you see it, people that do that do it until they die, over and over and over and over and over, and they do it in. But anyone that has an addiction of that sort, it's like you can be addicted to people, you can be addicted to gambling, you can be addicted to anything that makes your brain just go haywire.
Anything that makes you happy, you can be addicted to. Well, guess what? Figure out how to sit by yourself and sit with your own thoughts, that's when you'll figure out who the fuck you are and who the fuck needs to be out of your house.
That are capable of sitting in silence alone for 45 minutes, not speaking to me. I love it. Silence is my favorite sound.
I think literally. I did it for 45 days, like yesterday. I think I hit 46 today.
And I love that for you. And actually, I'm jealous. Like, it's important. But there's so many people that can't have a meal without watching TV. They can't go anywhere,
let's not talk about TV. I got my TV on all the time. I work from home.
You're like, I'm not really paying attention to it,
No, I don't pay attention to it, but it's my friend.
It's my friend.
I don't want to.
Red flag. That is a red flag.
I don't want a dog. So.
Oh, that's worse. Yeah. You're like, and I surely don't want a cat.
Michael Scott is my best friend. Okay. He doesn't.
Prison Mike is my friend.
He does not know he's my best friend, and he's my best friend.
That man's aging like fine wine.
He really is hot as shit.
It's tragic.
Oh, and his wife.
I don't even know what she looks like. Is she at least pretty?
Well,
does she deserve him?
She's probably funny.
Good for her.
She has to be. I mean,
you're like,
she just needs toner on her hair. That's just it. Like the yellow hair, it just drives me wild, bro.
Some people love it though.
But we're cosmetologists, and once you're a cosmetologist, you're always a cosmetologist. Yes. So it's always going to stay embedded in you. And mine's looking a little brassy right now. It's okay. I'm getting it colored Saturday, so it'll look better. But
speaking of no contact, some of those clients that I had that would have me do their hair and they loved it and I hated it. No contact after that. We're good. Don't tell anyone I did that. Don't call me back. I don't need that extra 400. I'm good, beloved. Don't tell anyone I did that. Do not take my card. Like,
no, the way that we would have people sit in our chair and talk about like actually criminal offenses. But like rich people live in like $5 million homes, and they're like, yeah, I ran into my husband's car at Soluna in Alamo Heights because he was with another woman, and I hit it, and then I went back home, and I'm like,
real. I had a client one time that was like, my bestie got pregnant by my boyfriend, and I went and cut all her hair off in her sleep.
She deserved it.
She did. And I'm happy for her.
I'm happy. Honestly, cutting her hair off is better than like stabbing her because that takes a long time to grow back.
Yeah, your hair will grow back.
And we can tell wigs.
Imagine maternity pictures with your hair like this, all choppy. Get out.
Oh my.
Get out.
Oh my God.
That's a criminal. And you know what? That client actually told me that because she was like starting this new job with 3 other people and they wanted to do a bonding thing. And they're like, let's tell each other secrets.
That's a secret that should never be told.
Every one of them told them, but I had an affair. She's like, I cut off my bestie's hair in her sleep.
Because she was pregnant by my boyfriend.
And everyone was like, oh, I should have said something different. Like, I shouldn't have told everyone I
ran over my cat and said it was the neighbor. Like, what?
The worst thing was all of their spouses worked at the same place.
Goodbye. Once we're done rolling, I need to know. Yeah. I need to know where this job is.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Okay, well, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for
coming today.
Me.
You will be back again.
I will love that.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of All the Rumors Are True.
And don't be shy to go no contact. Just cut them off.
Like those scissors with her best friend. Snip, snap. Michael Scott. Snip, snap, snip, snap. I got a vasectomy for you, and I reversed it. Man. Snip, snap, snip, snap. All right.
Okay, babe.
We'll see y'all next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That's so snip, snap, snip, snap.
Snip, snap. That was a good one.